Welcome to Wellness Wednesday, the Dre and Smiley podcast. Dre, what's going on with Wellness Wednesday? What's on your
Oh
mind?
man, I got a good one for you today. Have you ever heard of sleep hygiene?
No, what is sleep hygiene?
Yeah. So it's interesting. I'm always reading stuff on the internet, just kind of, find something different and new that's out there. And on my feed that comes up on my phone, I got this article about sleep hygiene. Um, so what it's about, what it covers essentially is just the best way to ensure a good night's sleep. And there's a few steps involved. I'm going to just highlight them for you briefly. And most of them are pretty intuitive, right? But I think a lot of us, when it's time for bed, we've developed bad habits where we just kind of turn the TV on, fall asleep to that, or just jump in bed and try to fight through it and get to sleep, or sleep aids, things like that. So this article kind of shares, some key tips, 10 key tips to help improve your sleep quality. So the first is keep a consistent sleep schedule, um, which again is pretty intuitive, but how many of us actually do that? Because life happens, right? Sometimes we go to bed at 10, sometimes we go to bed at 8. Kind of depends, especially if you have children. So that's the first one. Keep a consistent sleep schedule. Second is create a relaxing bedtime routine and stick with it. And so, some of those examples in terms of a bedtime routine, I remember doing this with my children when they were younger, some of these things. A warm bath or shower before bed, stretching before bed, meditating, which is for me it's incredibly hard. I don't know if you've done it, but my head, when I try to meditate, what happens in my head is similar to what you might experience at a rock concert. It's just like chaos. Does that ever happen to you when you try to meditate?
I got some techniques that I use to get those inner. So I read this one thing. It said, here it is, because this is where your logic comes in. You know that blood is flowing through every part of your body because
Right.
it has to. It has to go to your big toe, all the way up to your heart, to your brain, all the way back. It's like a river with it. It's a system. It goes up, it goes down. It's blood flowing. So if you can, try to feel the blood pulsating in your big toe. You're like,
Mm.
you know the blood is going there, but you can't feel it right now. So if you
Mm-hmm.
calm your brain down and you start from your heart and trace the pulse from your heart to your belly, down your arm, down your
Okay.
thigh, by the time you get
Mm-hmm.
to your foot, you sleep because you're concentrating so much on your inner workings. And then as you get proficient, you'll start to like you should be able to feel your heartbeat right now, but you probably can't because you got other things in your mind dominating. So if you just start simple and say, I would know that, start with the logic. I know blood is flowing through my body. I should be able to feel my pulse. And if like right now, I can feel the blood pulsing in my fingers because
I love
I've
that.
done this for years. But that's a way to
Wow.
calm yourself and to get inside your inner peace. Because why can't you understand your own body? It's yours. Ain't nobody in there
Right.
but you.
Right.
Hopefully.
Right. But
So,
you. That's
so
true.
you should
That's
be
true.
able to figure out where the blood's flowing. And you should be able to get it to feel if you want to feel the blood in your cheek, you should be able to feel it. It
Okay.
would be a slight little thing. So concentrate on the inner Dre, and that'll put you to
Yeah.
sleep until you get proficient.
I
That's my
love that, man.
meditation.
That should be the number one tip. Heck, number one, two, three, four, and five. Okay, number three here is turn off all electronic devices before you go to sleep, which in this day and age for some is really hard to do. Some people sleep with their phone next to them, sometimes in the bed with them. Exercise regularly. You and I have talked about that before in terms of the importance of exercising. Limit your caffeine intake. It's suggested that you avoid caffeine 3 to 7 hours before you plan to go to sleep, just to ensure it doesn't interrupt your sleep. Make your sleep environment work for you. So, for examples of that might include a cool, dark, quiet room. Um, it's suggested the temperature remain between 60 and 67 degrees. And then the last three, real quick, I'll just run off for you. Use your bed only for sleep and extracurricular activities. Go to bed only when you're tired. Limit napping or avoid it if you can. And then manage stress before going to bed. I was going to end with asking you if you have any other suggestions. I do love the one you shared about, think of the, your pulse, right? Your heartbeat moving through your body. I love that one. Do you have another one you would recommend?
Yeah. Well, here's one. And once again, it's all inner. You imagine your mind. How many stairs get to the bottom of your brain? Really, your brain
How
should
many
be bottomless.
stairs?
Yep. If you're at the top of a staircase and you're walking down the steps
Right.
in your mind, you should be able to walk
Okay.
down, and you'll probably think about something you did with your brother when you was 12. You think about a Christmas when you were 25. But as you're walking through your mind, you should never reach the bottom because you should have infinite stairs in your head. So what
Right.
you should do is continue,
Right.
like, all right, you imagine yourself at the top of your brain and you just walk down the stairs. And eventually you're going to fall asleep
Love
because
it.
you're like, because everything else is backed out and you just keep walking and you'll see different stuff. And I create these inner peace, inner spirit things to say, okay, how do I imagine I'm a bird and I'm flying from here to Tokyo? How do I avoid
Yeah.
this 747 trying to suck me into the engine? I'm soaring. How do I avoid that eagle trying to eat me? You do stuff like that mentally, that'll start to relax you. You're
Yeah.
like, well, let me go over here with these trees so I can be. And then
Right.
you'll say, well, I'm going to eliminate the birds, the eagles, and the airplanes from my mind. So they're not an option. So now you
love
got
it.
a free flight.
There you go. There you go. Well, hopefully this helps everyone with, getting better sleep throughout the week. Hope you have a great remainder of the week.